The second task of this chapter to create the CGINC file. And to create the CGINC file, I have created this cvglighting.cginc file. It's a blank text file at this point, just placed in the shader dev folder and named as cvglighting.cginc. I have added the cvg prefix because there is already a lighting.cginc file which is available in the built-in shaders of the Unity. So to differentiate it, I have added a prefix that will let us know that this is the custom file that we have created. So one thing that we want to do is we want to isolate the function that calculates world normal based on the normal map. So before we put that function in the CGINC file, we have to isolate, or we have to create that function in our shader first. So this is the calculation that is used to calculate world normals based on the normal map. So we will create a function, and what it will return normal world at pixel, which is a float3 value. So the return type will be float3. The name of the function will be very descriptive, so that just by reading the function name we can understand what it does. So world normal from normal map. So this is the name of our function, and now we will define the code of the function. So we will take these files, we will copy paste them inside. So first we will return world normal at pixel. After that, we will see when we will use this function, we will have to pass some parameters to it. In this function, we don't want to read the properties directly. We will read the parameters or the arguments that are passed to this function. So first, let's see what it is reading directly. It is reading normal map from the property. It is reading the texture coordinate. So we will need at least two things, which is sampler 2D normal map, sampler 2D, and this name normal map, which we are using inside the function, and the texture coordinate, normal texture coordinate, and it will be a float2 type value. Now we will pass those parameters here. The first parameter will be underscore normal, and the second parameter will be i.texture coordinate, and because we are reading float2 type value, we will have to pass x and y of the normal texture coordinate. Then we will start screening the second line. There is no variable that is being used in the second line externally, because the only variable that is used is calculated inside this function. Now comes the third line, and we are using i.tangent world xyz. So we will remove i.xyz from all these three variables, and we will pass these variables as float3 type. So we are always reading their xyz, float3, float3, and float3. Then we will pass the parameters here, and we can directly pick these values and pass them here. Then screen the fourth line of the function, normal at pixel, which we are calculating inside the function, and tbn world is also being calculated inside the function. So we don't have to worry about changing anything for this line. And then once we calculate it, we return it. We can either directly return it without storing them in a variable, so that we can save some space for storing it in a variable. And then we will remove these lines from here. And even here we can either store